All right, you good?
No, because I can't find my damn button.
Wicked party. It's gonna be wicked awesome.
It's over here.
We're all about New York today.
On the Funky Bunch.
No, that was Marky Mark. And the funky.
Marky Mark. Do your New York accent.
I can't do New York accent. Forget about it. Forget about it. I don't know it. You know that song, the Grandmaster Flash song?
Which one? Sing it.
Do you know it?
No.
New York, big city of dreams, but everything in New York ain't always what it seems.
New York, big city of dreams, but everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might just fool if you step from out of town, but I'm down by law and I know my way around.
And we're back with our 7th episode of Shelfies.
Lucky number 7.
I'm Turd Ferg. This is
The beer guy.
We have a New York-themed episode today on Shelfies. Our guest is even... Actually, we're not supposed to talk about the guest because they should surprise us. Damn, I just ruined the surprise. Supposed to kayfabe for you guys, but I guess that's not
We got
gonna work.
nothing. 1283 might get signed today, which is still not great, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's disappointing, but hopefully everybody stays together on it.
I'd like to give a shout out to Chris, the bartender at Union. I was there and got to meet him on Thursday for the pineapple release, and he's one of the people that would be affected by this. You know, it's just like, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit to think about that.
They need a lot of public support. They don't have as big a lobby as, you know, the wholesalers do and things like that.
What you watch on TV tells you what life is supposed to be. But when you look outside, the only thing you see is the poverty-stricken reality.
Great show today. We haven't even talked about any of the beers we have, which we're super excited about. The first one we have up is Captain Lawrence Harvest Cherry Sour.
Harvest Cherry Sour, Elmsford, New York.
I've had the apricot, I've had the gold, loved them both. They did a strawberry harvest that didn't go over too well. If you're one of those people that tried the strawberry harvest and didn't like it or you're unhappy with it, don't just stop buying Captain Lawrence. Like, they got some really good stuff, especially like this. It's super sour. I mean, it's really sour, and it's awesome.
And this fruit is a better representation for a sour beer. Apricot, same, I feel like. Peach, too, white peach.
This is not a crusher. I mean, this is a sipper. This is a beer that you want to take to a share to impress the sour fans.
Got you here?
Yeah.
Woo. Totally, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great breakfast beer.
And there is nothing wrong with this beer.
Too much, too many people, too much.
Now this one is pungent.
Yeah, this one's got a lot going on.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good craft beer bar. It's
Yeah.
not far from the guy. So, we got Captain Lawrence, and then what else we got? What are we talking about?
I want to still talk about Captain Lawrence. I mean, why do I need to move on?
I don't know. Why should we move on?
What? Look at it. Look at this.
Oh, what? Oh my God! It's Sarah Shear from Graft Cider. How are you?
How are you?
Good seeing you. Thanks for coming by. It's a total surprise that she's here. I can't believe it. We talk about New York. She comes, but you're actually not from New York. You're from here.
Yeah, so I'm from Maryland.
We do have one beer to try before we try actually the beer that you brought for us, which was already on our table.
Yay.
Who knows how that happened? This is
don't even know.
Captain Lawrence Harvest Sour Cherry. Give that a little sample. I think it's super tart. Definitely a share sour for the most part. Sarah Share.
Get it? Play on words.
Sour.
He's really good.
Good. That's good. Woo!
Yep.
He knows his stuff.
Yep. So what do you think of this?
I mean, I love Captain Lawrence.
Today you brought for us is Lost in the Woods.
Correct.
Which is a Spanish cedar aged
Some
hoppy
fresh
sour.
glasses for everybody.
Yeah, so it's our new hop cider for this month, for the month of April. And it's featuring Centennial and Citra hops. We wanted this to be like a light citrusy blend, kind of calling in the start of the spring and summer season. And then we wanted to pair that with Spanish cedar, a little bit more of an oily wood variety, to kind of give it a little bit of mouthfeel. Coats your palate right there at the end. We wanted to keep this spontaneous for the most part, but we still wanted to use a lot of the ideology that we kind of cultivated from our years at Millstone. So wanted to work with a proprietary yeast that we cultivated off of two lost orchards in the Peekskills. Basically crushed off of all of the apple juice, basically all of the ground harvested apples. and then sent that to 2 yeast labs, one the RVA yeast lab in Richmond, and then we're working with Mount St. Mary's, which is a university up our way in Newburgh. Had them basically cultivate the different yeast strains that they found in that juice. We did mono fermentations.
The yeast helps comes a little bit from the ground, right? Because they're apples on the ground, they're not picked from the tree.
Well, basically, they're like starting to degrade on the ground.
Okay.
They're starting to turn. So yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of more of that interplay with the yeast and then the sugars from right inside that know exosperm of the apple.
Really smart to make this stuff.
You're gonna be really smart.
Yeah.
Today.
No.
Not for me.
You
I can
don't.
drink it, I just can't make it.
The beautiful thing is nature kind of does all the work for you. We were just kind of trying to express what nature had already kind of given us. Kyle and I did mono fermentations actually in this apartment in Baltimore around a year ago. And we wanted to have a very like crushable, fruit-forward cider, something that kind of expressed those barnyardy characteristics, but weren't overpowering. They just happened to be 3 different strains of Brettanomyces, and then just really, let it wild in our production space up in Newburgh, New York. Caleb Lynn is actually our graphic designer. He is a micrograduate. And we used him for some of our work at Millstone. He did typography work for us there. Nice. We just really loved his illustration style. It was very fun, whimsical storybook. Really played into kind of like this ideal image that we had for this new brand. So he's been really awesome to collaborate with. Him and Kyle have a very close relationship.
Since I have Sarah here today, I figured it'd be a great time to feature a third New York beer, which is Other Half Southern Hopolistic. Such a good beer. I've already had it. Let's get Sarah a little sample. So it's a double IPA from Other Half. They're from Brooklyn, New York. They have super popular releases where people are waiting outside of their business like 7 hours before they release the beer. This one was released about 10 days ago, I think. They've been releasing like 3 or 4 cans every weekend recently, which is pretty intense.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I think that they've been expanding. My personal dream would be to have Graft Cider do a collab with Other Half. Now, I mean, I don't know if you could pull any strings with that, maybe, but personally, I'd be really into that.
I would be super into that as well, Ferg.
Thank you guys so much for watching another week of Shelfies.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Cool. Thank you so much.